Good morning, this is Kris Shoemaker, also known as Yehudah ben Shomeyr, and you're listening to Coffee with Kris, the time of the day where we share a cup of coffee and share a bit of the Word of God. Thank you so much for joining me this morning and this new week, which is a new Torah portion called Vayera, which means He appeared, and is taken from Genesis chapter 18, verse 1, going all the way to chapter 22, verse 24. So today, Sunday's Sidra, Sunday's Aliyah for the Torah portion of this week, is chapter 18, verses 1 through 14, but we're going to be focusing in on the first 8 verses. And the title of this devotional this morning is So Hospitable, Ooh, It Hurts. So here we go. Then Adonai appeared to him at Mamre's large trees, while he was sitting at the entrance of his tent during the heat of the day. When he lifted up his eyes to see, suddenly 3 men were standing right by him. When he saw them, he ran. Notice that key word. He ran from the entrance of his tent to meet them and bowed down to the ground. Then he said, "My Lord, if now I have found favor in your eyes, please do not pass by your servant. Please let a little water be brought so you can wash your feet and make yourselves comfortable under the tree. And then let me bring you a bit of bread so you can refresh yourself. Then you can pass on, since you have passed by your servant." They said, "Do just as you have said." So Abraham hurried. So we have ran, now we have hurried. So Abraham hurried into the tent of Sarah and said, "Quick, knead 3 measures of fine flour and prepare bread loaves." Then to the herdsman, Abraham ran, there again, ran, and took a young ox, tender and good, and he gave it to the servant, and he prepared it quickly. Then he took butter and milk and the young ox that he had prepared and set it before them, while he was standing by them under the tree, and ate. You're thinking, no big deal. He's just being a very good host, a very good hospitable host. Well, it's a little bit more than that, because what happened 3 days prior? 3 days prior, Abraham, at the age of 90-something, circumcised himself as well as all the men of his household and his son Ishmael. This was 3 days after, which according to Genesis 34, verse 25, it's the most painful day of the healing process. According to tradition, God came with his entourage of angels just to check up on Abraham to see how he's doing after this minor surgery. Well, it was major to Abraham, but in the scheme of things, it was really a minor surgery. And so Abraham's like, his whole demeanor was about hospitability, being hospitable to guests. The legend has it that he opened the 4 corners of his tent to scan the horizon, and whenever he seen travelers, he would invite them in. He would do the same thing, wash their feet, prepare a meal, and then he would witness to them about the one true God, because he was the only monotheist on the block at that time. And so, Moses, being incapacitated as he was, he had every right and every excuse to say, "Oh, gee, Lord, I'm really glad you came to visit. Oh, it's a nice gesture, but you'll please excuse me if I can't wait on you, if I can't wash your feet or give you some food. I'm in a tremendous amount of pain here." He didn't let his physical condition be the excuse not to be hospitable. Remember, it says he ran, he hurried, he ran. He did this fast despite the pain, despite it hurting, and then he bent down and washed their feet, and he stood by them as they ate, as a waiter. "Anything you need, I'm right here, just give me the word." And this is a great lesson to us, that despite what circumstances or inconveniences that may be going on in our lives, if we see somebody in need, we need to act. We need to be hospitable. We need to show the love of Abraham and the love of Messiah to these people, because oftentimes when you meet a physical need, it opens the door for you to talk about their spiritual need. And it's an open door and an avenue for you to witness and share the love of God. And their heart will already be prepared for it, because you put God's love in action first by serving them, despite whatever you're going through, despite your loss, despite what you don't have. If you've helped them in a physical way, it'll open their heart for the spiritual. Guys, thanks so much for listening. Go out there and have a great day. Shalom and God bless.